I've done some off-screen grinding on the previous mission, since the final one is kind of a leap in difficulty compared to the rest. I've recorded and played through on a higher difficulty setting with the other language track, but it didn't really feel different enough to justify me commenting over those as well. Ugh. It really would have been nice if we got more context why our victory in the previous battle was just a minor setback, and this was not a final campaign against his most powerful rival. It was Ieyasu cleaning house, and dealing with what was left of a force that had become mostly insignificant in the absolute final conflict in the Sengoku period. Is it just me, or does the map in this mission look a good deal larger than the usual battlefields? Well, that's certainly a lot of generic-looking generals working for Tokugawa. Well, I'm sorry, but it doesn't feel like a lost cause for the player who's more than confident that Yukimura can absolutely dominate with us guiding his spear. Well, there's no need to get so sarcastic. Really doesn't look right for someone to be holding imaginary reins. That doesn't feel like the sort of thing you should be saying to yourself before a major battle. Plus, we got the mixed message that the guy who's Shogun at this point both feels concern about one man, and then less than 2 seconds later says there's no need to be concerned, for we vastly outnumber the enemy. It's a little annoying that we have to lure 2 men to the right specific point, but it's nothing too bad to start us off with. Doesn't look like a battalion being led to the right point to me, just 2 named characters with generic sprites. Well, that certainly didn't take long. Time to kill them. Don't worry, we'll go help you out as soon as we're done with these guys. As a side note, I only just recently discovered that the Tokugawa used to be called the Matsudaira. Not really sure why there was so much name changing going on back then. Sure, I can get why Hideyoshi changed his name. He went from a near sandal bearer to leader of the whole country. But why did Ieyasu, a man who started in a noble house, decide to change his name and the name of his clan? Wait, cannons? Okay, what the fuck? Those are the cannons? I'm sorry, but that has to be one of the dumbest cannon designs I've ever seen. I can accept muskets that don't need reloading, bows with infinite arrows, and overpowered characters. But those cannons just... they look like one of those things you put a quarter into and they move around a little. I have no idea what they're called, and I'm in no mood to look it up. I'm just saying, these things look far from intimidating. Sorry, Susukida, the pretty stupid cannons had to take precedence. That's half of them down, now on to the other 2. Yes, we're already aware of that objective. It's our primary focus at the moment, since if we fail any objectives before a certain point in this map, we won't get the actual ending cutscene for Yukimura. We'll get something half-assed and unsatisfied. I prefer we go for some actual ending cutscenes, though I might have recorded some of the half-assed ones along the way as I recorded through this game. Don't really remember. does it? The cannons are no longer a threat. Not that they looked like much of a threat in the first place. On to the next objective. Not that we've gotten it yet.
今こそ秀頼様が陣頭に立たねば死んでいった者たちが報われぬ戦になる。
Oh dear, that's especially awkward to say when historically this battle is going to be a Tokugawa win. Really makes the battles we've gone through with this character feel pretty bittersweet.
秀頼様にお目通り願う。
開けるな。真田は敵に通じておりやもしれぬ。
This feels like one of those things that deserves more context than the game gives. Not only was Yukimura's brother part of the enemy army in the previous battle, there was a letter sent to Harunaga Ono that said if Hideyori left the castle, they'd be attacked from behind. So the guy had some good reason to feel like Yukimura wanting Hideyori to charge the enemy might be part of a trap. But for some reason, the game wants to act as if Ono is just saying no because he's an asshole. I'm not asking for 100% historical accuracy, and I don't have a problem with the game taking liberties at various points. But if they absolutely have to throw obstructions in our way, can they at least do a better job of justifying them? Sure, it's not as bad as the crap that happened at Nagashino, but it's still pretty annoying. As a side note, I can't help noticing that all 4 of our bodyguards are in horrendous shape right now. How are these guys even still alive?
我らもこの機に乗ずるのだ。
My first instinct is to fight alongside our struggling allies. Unfortunately, our objective requires us to run away from the enemy. Still, no harm in taking out a few enemy officers and capturing a few points along the way. At the very least, that should do a decent job slowing down the enemy's advance. Of course, there's always a risk of enemies popping up out of nowhere. Yeah, that's certainly the plan. It's not much of a plan, but it's better than just letting most of our troops hide in the castle, waiting for the enemy to smash their way in. And holy shit, I wish we had this horse back when we first started running to this other entrance. Sure, it's not speeding us up by much, but every little bit helps in this kind of timed thing. Well, son of a bitch. Hanzo's ninjas may have shown up, but the Master Ninja himself hasn't arrived yet. These guys are just an annoyance. My lord, there are ninjas in the castle, so I don't think staying here is any safer than charging outside. Oh, it's probably a very bad sign that Harunaga was the one to answer us, not Hideyori himself. That did not feel like a successful plea to me, but we'll see how it turns out. For now, we should ride out to meet the advancing enemies on the western flank. This is one of the most annoying parts of the mission, in my opinion. We have to take down Masamune Date within a certain amount of time and prevent him from entering the castle, or the game's going to act like we didn't just run all the way over to Hideyori to tell him to get off his ass. This brat is a hell of a lot stronger than he looks, and far more deadly than those wooden swords would imply. And on a related note, I can't help feeling this is my least favorite incarnation of Masamune Date. Sure, I probably haven't seen absolutely every version of the historical figure ever created, so there's potential he has been done in more annoying ways. But this game just doesn't do the man any favors. He's an annoying brat who pops up for the sake of causing trouble, not because he has any actual goals. I should not feel pleased that we just killed a kid. Yeah, the Western Gate really feels like the castle's weakest point right now. We'll take down the officer before trying to thin out the enemy's army, or we would if another objective didn't slam into us. The green text around that objective means it's expressly an objective that means we're leading to a branching path. Since we want to go with the ending cutscene with some actual effort put into it, that means we've got to kill that supply commander. It's made a little annoying due to the fact that the supply captain doesn't have anything on the minimap to highlight him like any of the named officers, but it's nowhere near as annoying as fighting Masamune. Oh dear, the officer guarding the Western Gate just died. Can someone, anyone, move to try to plug that hole?
やはり秀頼様を危険にさらすわけにはいかん。
I think we've just established that sitting around in the castle is its own form of danger. There's very little difference in the ending of this mission between the version where we activate the true ending and where we're getting the less awesome ending. Either way, Hideyori doesn't join the charge, and we have to push through the enemy while our allies are ground into a fine paste. Looks like what's left of our allies are going to charge through the east and front gate. Can't help feeling this battle is pretty badly done, just like Nagashino, but at least it isn't downright painful to go through. It's just very annoying to go through events that feel scripted to the point that it doesn't feel like it matters how skilled you are in combat.
負け戦だが私の内なる闘志はそれを拒む
Do you even know what you're fighting for other than sheer stubbornness here, Yukimura? What would you really gain in killing Ieyasu? And on a related note, we don't have that many people backing us up here in our charge. We just have our 4 bodyguards. Lady, what is even the point in one-upping anyone out here? Don't get me wrong, I enjoy stories with bittersweet endings, and I did have fun with this section of the game. But I've got to be honest and say that the first character that we've gone through, it has had 2 bad missions, and the narrative wasn't particularly good. Even if you know absolutely nothing about Japanese history, just taking this story on its own, it's full of holes all over the place. Okay, so apparently we're going to have to deal with an absurd number of enemy grunts. Add in the fact that we're cut off from our bodyguards, and on paper, this looks like a very rough situation. And to be fair, the lack of healing items as we deal with all these enemies in this fort is going to be very annoying. Honestly, I kinda like this part. It's a good point to recapture the power fantasy that this game is primed to be, and a nice point to work off the frustrations of an otherwise underwhelming journey for this character. Hopefully, when we get to Samurai Warriors 2, Yukimura will get something that has fewer holes in it, and feels overall more satisfying. And by hold nothing back, you mean send everyone except for the man this army is supposed to be fighting for into the fray. Hell, you guys haven't even managed to leave the castle. You've just been completely stopped in your tracks, and I have the distinct feeling everyone in there is going to die. Too bad I can't find it in me to feel any remorse over countless numbers of allies dying around here. Well, at least it looks like when we finally get out of this trap, we'll be pretty close to Hanzo and Ieyasu. Yes, how nice. We're an amazing warrior that's going through a second losing battle where our skills mean nothing. Seriously, this genre of games was made for power fantasies. Being on the losing side just plain feels awkward. Starting to wish there was something to help us keep track of how far from the end of this objective we are. Sure, taking down numerous unnamed grunts isn't all that difficult, but unlike most battles, we are trying to move forward somewhere, and there's little to no chance of healing items dropping at this stage of the battle. Not even the objects that usually hold items will give us anything. Well, that felt like a rather abrupt end to that objective. I appreciate that it's done, but that kinda came out of nowhere. Oh, please. Starving us out was never your intention. Sure, food is the healing item of this series, but that's just plain... ugh. Huh. Wonder why this officer doesn't have one of those pinkish circles on the minimap. Considering how few officers they have left. Ah, well. I suppose it doesn't matter considering how quickly that guy fell. Oh, you definitely should be running away around now, since we've still got a good amount of health left, and you're running out of men to protect you. Well, the chaos isn't over quite yet, so Yukimura's gonna show you just how tough a warrior he is. If you've got any sense, Master Ninja, you won't get in range of our spear. Yikes, the poor bastard really didn't last long at all. Oh, I know this isn't goodbye. You're the next character we'll be playing as, Hanzo. I look forward to seeing how different you are from Yukimura's storyline. Great! So we get an amazing spear when we're no longer going to use this character. Excuse me for not feeling all that excited. Can someone tell me how 4 corpses can get experience? Again, it is hard to care about character growths at this point when we're finishing up with this character.
天下は我が手にあり。
Apparently, people's ability to see the entire battlefield at once is lost once they enter a cutscene.
なんだと右翼中央に展開せい
I'm not sure moving troops is gonna solve anything, not when the guy in question is leaving bodies by the hundreds. I'm sorry, but it doesn't even look like those attacks are hitting anything. And his blade is downright pristine.
バカな奴は不死身か
Of course he isn't. He's a player character.
許しちょうだい
Okay, why are you stopping that nameless fool?
真田日の本一のつわものなり
Wait, what? So the enemy leader says you're the greatest warrior and the life just suddenly leaves your body?
僕が終わっ
I'm sorry, but after following this character through several missions, this doesn't feel like that good of an ending for him. This is probably going to be the only time I'm going to have the credits roll in this game. We've got 15 more characters to go through and 4 more in the expansion. Sure, it's not an amazing game, but not every game you have to have fun with has to be great. The important part is fun, and I hope you had as much fun with this section of the game as I did, despite my complaints. I just hope I have as much fun with the rest of the game.